These scallywags ostracized you, mocked you, talked about you on purpose, right? They're doing it right there in front of her and making her feel supposedly some type of way. But look at her face like, no, y'all not. It doesn't matter. I'm hearing revenge is a motherfucker, right? But not even, I just heard vengeance is mine, saith the Lord, right? What up, familia? It's your favorite Puerto Rican Brooke of Philly. And this is your message if you have felt either at a job situation, in your community, in your family, all your life, or just recently that somebody, some group of people, because that's a whole, I just heard gang of people who intentionally, deliberately ostracized you, talked about you, and some mean girl energy. I couldn't get it. There you go. It's some mean girl type energy, right? I'm thinking of literally that movie where they were doing it purposely and some like boldly, right? Spreading gossip and lies about you. But again, the intention was to hurt your feelings, to make you feel either like you were trigger warning crazy or all alone, you wouldn't amount to anything, something, beloved, right? And what I heard Spirit say is I just heard no weapon formed against you shall prosper, but all things work together for the good for those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose, right? There was this way in which being by yourself, it set you the fuck up, although it was lonely, beloved, although it was hard. What I'm hearing clearly from Spirit here is that it allowed you. I just hear the Way of the Water, Avatar, the Way of the Water. That movie may be significant for somebody. Maybe it was resonating if you just recently watched it. But there's something here about how you being alone allowed you then to follow Spirit, right? This individual is to find your own sense of stability, right? This the forecast to lay down your own sense of foundation, right? While these bitches, oh my, that's what, listen, I'm hearing what they say, or MFers, right? Or mofos, they need each other, right? They needed all four of them. Yeah, there's four of them, right, to form their stability, their foundation by themselves. Yeah, I'm hearing a house divided amongst itself shall fall. They're divided against themselves. They can't stand individually. They need to group up against anything or anybody to be able to move in any kind of which way, I'm hearing Spirit say. But this forced you, right, to establish yourself, your foundation, your solidity. Now you know what it is to be alone but not feel lonely. Now you know what it is to have a peace that surpasses all understanding. Now you know what it is to have a true relationship with the one and also within yourself, right? You know this and you can stand, I heard 10 toes down on all fours, right? For stability and security and comfort, because it comes from within. It comes from Spirit. It is not all outside validation, right? And maybe if you did before, you don't the fuck now. And maybe if that's what because maybe before, beloved, I'm hearing they could entice you like that. They knew that would, because didn't I say trigger warning? They knew that could trigger you, right? Maybe for some specifically calling you crazy, right? That may have been a trigger warning. But now they can't fuck with you, I'm hearing. Yes, literally like that. They can't fuck with you because of this space of isolation that it created for you actually helped you. It actually helped you. What they meant for harm, God turned it for good. You see how that shit works? And what he has is a something, I forget what it's called, a watering rod, where this rod would lead you to water. But water is the sustenance of all life. Nothing grows without water and sunlight, right? So yes, you tapped into the sense of self, the sense of source. You became one with the one, right? The Layla, hey, that's it, point blank, period. Like, come on now, listen. And this is how, it became so foundational. I'm hearing that, if this was a work situation where they excluded you, right, BK? If this was this work situation where I'm hearing they're squirming like that now. Now they're nervous. Now they're all messed up, right? Now they're like all frantic and don't know what to do. But that's what intention was initially, right? To make you feel this way. But this wound up doing the opposite. It made you grind. It made you put in and invest in yourself and maybe possibly entrepreneurship, right? Now you run your own business. You started your own side hustle. Again, they wanting to ostracize you actually elevated elevated you. Like, who wanted? Won't God do it? Like, talk, like, listen to me, beloved. And there's something about this father of coins, right? Like, you establish your wealth, right? Or your safety and security in terms of financially being sustainable. But there's something about, I keep hearing passive income, right? Where you know how you hear people say work smarter, not harder. You don't have to be there doing all this that they're doing, butt kissing, ganging up on people, manipulating, lying, cheating, stealing. No, because you formed that relationship with, most importantly, with yourself and with the one, right? And since you trusted in God and you followed the Spirit and you was led, now your income is I keep hearing passive income. Or you, so possibly now you work at something that you love doing, and you love doing it so much that it no longer feels like work. You understand what I'm saying, beloved? You know how when you could do something that you're actually happy to get up in the morning to go do, whereas before you probably was sitting here miserable being around all these fake people that, you know, was so miserable that they had to like pick on you or target you in some kind of way. And then the grandmother spirit came out, right? There's something about your ancestors, right? There's something about maybe your ancestral lineage, right? Because I see, I mean, I hear the song Grandmom's Hands, right? There's something about that nurturing comfort that we understand grandmothers to provide, that unconditional love. There's something about a softness now where maybe before you was on that grind, that 9 to 5, that hustle culture, that work, you know, Rihanna-ish. And now it's like, nah, I'm hearing a peace that surpasses all understanding, and all your needs are met, and you ain't sitting there killing yourself, not for the man, not for any man if you're a woman, you know, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you literally, it literally opened up. And I'm hearing not just for yourself, but for your lineage, your ancestors, right? Your ancestry, right? So again, not only past, but for future generations to come, because now you're becoming an example of what softness looks like, right? Not that hyper masculinity where you're killing yourself, particularly as Black women, as women of color. We're taught to be the freaking mules, to do the most always. No, there's this pulling back. There's this stepping into the femininity of ourselves and accepting it and being okay, and not lying to ourselves and hearing that now we're lazy or something like that, right? No, those are lies to keep us in the cog, right? In the wheel, in the cycle, right? So that's that, beloved. And then 6 of Sticks, look, you're victorious. Like, come on now. You're victorious. It's victory for you. Nothing but victory, because you're protected. You're covered, right? And most importantly, once you are, again, there's bringing me back full circle to what I said in the beginning of that. You're attracting now through self-improvement. Some of you are back. I hear your health is wealth. Yeah, your validation now no longer comes from the outside. You could care less what these scallywags, look up scallywag, beloved, these scallywags have to say. You are now validating yourself in the sense that health is wealth. So many of you are watching, you know, your nutrition and taking care of yourself, self-care on a whole nother level, right? Maybe you're going back to the gym, maybe you're walking, you know, mental health I'm hearing as well, right? So not just the physical. So yeah, you begin to work on, I'm hearing what was important, wholeness, right? A holistic approach to your life and to the world. You understand that you yourself are system within a greater ecosystem, and how you vibrate with this oneness, right? And how to, I'm here, optimally vibrate with it, right? How can I best be my best self, my system? How can it operate at its highest, right? At its optimal intention, purpose, right? And I'm hearing you're victorious. Look, and now those same people who had something to say, look, their tongue got cut off, and yours, you were protected, and now you can say, communicate how you need to communicate, understanding that you're backed by the one. Yes, beloved, that is the message. Yeah, 5 of Knives, you took back your power. You took back your authority. You said, give me all those knives. Give me all that backbite and all that gossip. It means nothing to me. Let me show you what I did with it, and I leveled up.